It's Deb from debsdays.com. It's Tutorial Tuesday, and today we're making a cloth face mask that's reversible with a nose wire. If you've been with me these last few months, you know we've made several face masks. Some with pleats, some with no pleats, some with nose wires, some out of t-shirts. We even made ear savers to keep our elastic off our ears. But today, it's a reversible one with a nose wire, with those easy-peasy pleats we did before. Before I get started, I publish new content frequently, so be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And check out the blog at debsdays.com. You'll find an entire section dedicated to free sewing and crafting projects and links to even more sewing and crafting tutorials. I even have a section dedicated to sewing face masks. Alright, let's get this project started. Along with your regular sewing supplies, for this project you will need 2 pieces of fabric measuring 7.5 inches by 7.5 inches. Since this is a reversible face mask, I'm using 2 different fabrics. I'm using 100% cotton. You'll need 2 pieces of elastic measuring 7.5 inches. I'm using the 1/4 inch wide elastic. And you're also going to need some type of flexible wire. A pipe cleaner works great. I don't have any pipe cleaners with me today, so I'm using floral stem wire. And then you'll need some pins or some clips, something to hold it together as we're working. You can find these measurements in the supply list at debsdays.com. I've added a link in the description right below this video. Now, something to note, not all faces are the same size. My suggestion would be to make a practice mask first. If you have some scrap fabric or muslin, or even cut up an old sheet, use it to make a practice mask. By doing a practice mask first, then you can make any adjustments you need to fit your face better. Let's take our 2 pieces of fabric and place them right sides facing together. We need to make a casing for our nose wire. So let's first take a 1/4 inch seam allowance across the top of the fabrics. I've gone ahead and stitched a 1/4 inch from the edge. Now I need to stitch a little farther in. Let's go another 1/4 inch. Now you'll want to slip your wire into there. To keep it from poking, curl up the ends just a little bit and center it in that space. We're going to go ahead and get that enclosed in there. So I'm going to stitch it to the left and to the right to hold that in the center. I'll be right back. Now we need to take 1 piece of elastic. We're going to place it inside those fabrics with the elastic facing inside those fabrics, aligned with that stitching and aligned with the edge. Go ahead and clip that or pin it. Then we're going to move the other end of the elastic down to the bottom side. Go maybe a little bit more than 1/4 from the bottom and align it with the edge. And then pin or put your clip in there. Now let's go to the other side. We're going to do the same thing. Place the elastic up at the top, along the side, facing inward. Hold that in place. Then do the same at the bottom, a little more than 1/4 inch from the bottom, aligned with the edge, and hold that in place. We're going to take that to the machine and we're going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam allowance all the way around the fabric. You can stitch back over that original stitching, or you can just skip it if you'd like. We do need to leave a space for turning, so leave this chunk open. As you're stitching it, make sure you secure that elastic with some extra stitching. Go back and forth, back and forth. We want that to be a very sturdy stitching. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stitch that, and I'll be right back. As you can see, I've stitched a 1/4 inch all the way around. I left this space open for turning. I'm going to go ahead and clip my corners and turn it right side out. Now we have that little space where we turned it. We need to get that closed. So go ahead and fold that under a 1/4 inch. Let's iron all of that down, including pressing that opening spot. Now we're going to go all the way around and top stitch this piece. That opening is now closed. Now we need to make our easy peasy pleats. I'm going to fold this mask in half and I'm going to press it. I'm going to open it up. You can see I've created a line down the middle. Now I'm going to take the top piece and fold it to that middle line, and I'm going to press it again. I'm going to do the same with that bottom piece. I'm going to fold it up and I'm going to press it. Now I'm going to fold it over. I'm going to press it one more time for good measure. When I open it up, you can see I have 3 pressed lines there. Let's flip that over. Those 3 lines have become like little mountain peaks. Those are going to be our pleats. So grab the first one and move it on down. Grab the second one, move it on down. And grab the third one and move it on down. You can see we've just made some pleats. What I want to do right now, I'm going to look and see if it's evened up. Do you have to measure them to make sure they're perfect? Nope. And I'm going to press it again. I love this new iron of mine. It's in the supply list at debsdays.com as well if you're interested. Now I'm going to use my clips and hold those in place. I'm going to go right down the sides over that original top stitching we did. If you have a walking foot for your machine, this would be a great time to use it because of the extra thickness. If you have a regular sewing machine foot, that's okay too. Just make sure you go really slow over those pleats. I'm going to do that with both sides, and I'll be right back. I've gone over that original top stitching. I have the pleats in place. Now I'm going to go on the inside of all that top stitching all the way around. 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch away from that original line, all the way around. It makes for a nicer finish and a sturdier mask. And just like that, we have a reversible pleated face mask with a nose wire with those easy peasy pleats. Now, along with washing your face mask after you wear it, make sure you're washing your hands, you're keeping your social distancing up, and you're taking good care of yourself. Be safe out there and stay healthy. If you'd like to see more projects like this one, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and stop by the blog at debsdays.com. You'll find free patterns, supply lists, and links to even more sewing and crafting tutorials. See you next week with another project.